Hey guys, how's it going at home? Hope you guys are enjoying some quality time at home. So this is my update on our discussion about what we can do to help as a digital fabrication lab with the current COVID-19 situation. And I hereby introduce to you CyberMask, for our code name at least. We'll work on that later. So before I start, huge thanks to Alex, Ian, and Nika for giving me a lot of information on these medical devices and exchanging some really valuable conversations. And also, huge thanks to Yusuke for constantly reminding us that there's something we can do. So, this is not a ventilator. Well, the ventilator is quite a life-depending, complex piece of machinery, but we haven't given up yet. More on that later. This Max project, however, is quite a bit simpler and easier and faster to make. And I actually hope for this to be the start of a series of COVID-19 battling projects that we can put out. Just off the top of my head, we can have some mask clips, which clips to the back of your head to make wearing masks more comfortable. Some face shields; those are really simple and popular to make. And even DIY hand sanitizers, because we're running short on that as well, and we have a lot of experience mixing clay. So who knows? Maybe the finale is a actual functioning ventilator. So more on the mask. So the idea is, if we see a normal mask, it's made with the same material throughout, but large portions of it actually rest flat on our faces and don't filter air at all. The working part is only the part that's closer to the nose and the mouth, so where we can breathe. So my idea is that we would segment the mask and replace all the non-functioning parts with multiple-use 3D prints like this. And as a result, we can get at least 2 to 3, or maybe even more uses out of each mask. So here's the construct. It's got a face shield, a filter made from the original mask, a interface that clips the filter to the face shield, clips to hold the elastic string from the original mask, and a optional face seal part, which is also from the original mask. So the 3D printed mask is not a new idea, but compared to the other 3D printed masks out there, this actually solves many problems. First off is the filter. So a lot of the 3D printed mask and DIY mask in general don't have proven filters. I saw a lot of people use the 3M industrial filter for HVAC systems, or just cloth from old clothing. So using a filter that's actually made from a existing mask makes sure that our filters are indeed effective. Another problem with the existing DIY masks is that some of them are really complicated to make. So a lot of them require glue to attach the filters, and some of them even need hardware to put them all together. And also you are going to need separate materials for the elastic band, face shield, and like filter materials. So it's just a lot to acquire to make something like this. So using as much of the original mask as possible, cutting it up for filters, face seals, and the elastic bands that hold it to your face, this makes it a lot easier to make. So for someone who already have a 3D printer, considered a maker, it should be no problem for them. But even for someone who don't have a 3D printer or the sort of prototyping workshop around, we can have a simple scissors, a existing mask, and maybe a friend who actually give you all the 3D print files, and you can make one at home. Another problem with these 3D printed masks is the fit, which is sort of inevitable when you're fitting hard materials to different size faces. Like this fits me pretty well, but it's probably a little small for her and a little too big for him. So a lot of them, to battle that, actually have different size variations of the same mask. Say like narrow, wide, small, medium, large. But the problem with that is that those descriptions or sizes are pretty vague, and even we actually do give them out specific measurements. It's not like everybody had like a face caliper to like measure out and then spec out the things. This is not even a face caliper. I don't even have one. So that's definitely a problem. This part is where I think we can go forward as a digital fabrication lab and sort of apply the same scanning, sort of evaluation and feedback loop into how we facilitate people into getting their own right fit for their masks. So it's got a lot to how I designed this. So the way I designed this is I actually acquired my facial data with the depth sensing camera used for Face ID on the iPhone, and a free app called Scandy Pro that gets like a really quick and easy 3D scan of my face, and I sort of built my face mask around my face to fit all the structures of the bone. So to automate my entire process of scanning and then design to fit and then 3D production might be quite impossible. However, if we design several variations like everybody else of the same mask, and instead of having our users sort of measure out how big they are, we just ask them to use their phone to scan, to get like a basic scan of their face, and our software will automatically match for them what they actually should fit in. So that will make them a lot easier into understanding the data, getting the complex measurements data into a very intuitive sort of, look at your phone, and then, you're given this mask that will actually fit you. And so actually I think this also have like a added social benefit of not, categorizing people and let them recognize, how big their head is or, how small their face is. Also like a racial thing with like Asian people with like flatter nose and so on and so forth. So I think this can be quite nice to have this system in place. But this part I do need some help, and I really hope this video reaches out to you guys well, and we can do this together. Another thing that I also need help with is how we get this out there. So one option is that I upload a YouTube video just like this one as an individual maker. But I really feel that with our university and our lab agenda, this can be done much better, be of bigger help, and inspire a lot more people. Also, as I wished, if we can continue this as a series of DIY self-protection equipment, I feel that doing this under the TADS or UTokyo can make this series a much bigger and better influence. So I think this about sums it up. Please provide some comments or advice, and if anyone is interested in joining, that would be super awesome. So hope you guys are enjoying your homestay. It's a beautiful day, and hope we all get a great start to this unique semester.